Hey folks, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge. Today we're looking at the Beluga. It's a fish out of water. Well, it's not really a fish, it's a whale, right? Mammal. This is the Beluga by Bestech. One cool thing that I like about Bestech is when they put out a knife, especially in their G10 series, you get it in about 8 different options. You can get it with black on the flats instead of stonewash if you want to. And you get those 2 blade options with about 4 or 5 different color options on G10. So it's really cool that way, which is a good thing. I wish more and more vendors would do that kind of thing, even just giving more options for G10, even if they leave the blade exactly the same. But be that as it may, at least Bestech's doing it. And this knife, I was very surprised. When I did that unboxing of these Bestech knives, it's a while ago now, I asked you which ones you guys liked, and I was amazed that there was a lot of you who were saying the Beluga. I thought the name might just be a little bit of a put-off, but who knows. I've never seen the Beluga in the wild. I've been wanting to go to Churchill, Manitoba. When we lived in Manitoba, I used to live in northern Manitoba, Thompson. For anybody who knows where Thompson, Manitoba is, actually I lived up in Lynn Lake for a while. If you guys know Manitoba, you've probably heard of Lynn Lake. That's further north and west than Thompson even. But I never made it to Churchill for some reason. And they got the Beluga up there, and I really wanted to see them, but never got to see them in the ocean. Somebody's trying to wreck their car out there, but that happens on the street out front quite a bit. In any case, here we go. The Beluga, 12C27 steel by Sandvik. We've got a nice drop point here, a nice gentle belly here, a forward choil for your finger to sneak up and do some work. It's one of the things I really love about this knife. And a handle that's very comfortable, very well milled, 3D CNC milling done on here, and a really funky end on the handle here with the lanyard hole, just the styling back here, and a little bit of a it's not open pillar construction, I know that. Here I am, a guy who reviews knives almost every day, and my brain still won't tell me what this is back here right now. Honestly, I hate my brain on pain and painkillers. It just sucks. Don't ever get problems like that. Well, I know a lot of you guys have problems just like I do. And hey, I feel for you. But we keep going, don't we? We hang tough and we keep going. Backspacer. It's got a nice G10 backspacer, a little bit of milling in it for a little bit of G10, a little bit of jimping in there. So why don't we put this thing on the tabletop and take a good close look at the Beluga coming at you right now. One of the first things you notice on these Bestech knives is you've got this little end here for the pivot screw. You could use a spanner screw to go into those 2 little holes right there and hold it if you need to. I found generally you don't need to do that at all. You can just take this torque screw right here and undo it and open it up if you need to. So let's take a good look at this. Now that we've got this underneath the lights, you can see the milling that they've done on here. Instead of just chamfering the edges, they've got 6 or 7 little steps that go down. See those steps milled in there? Very, very nice on that G10. It adds a little bit extra grip because you can feel it when your hand's on here, but it's not sharp at all to the touch. So it's a really nice milling that they've done in here. You've got a nice lanyard hole here. A nice triangle hole with the rounded corners. And the back spacer here, now that I know the word, isn't super excessive large. I like this kind of half back spacer where it leaves the other half sort of open. That's very nice. It's still very easy to get in there and clean this knife out if you get it dirty. And then we've got this pocket clip here with a G10 spacer to hold it up. And then the clip is right down here. Very well made. No hot spots with that pocket clip at all. Very functional. Slides in and out of the pocket exactly the way you want it to. Just enough grip that it doesn't move around while it's on there, and easy enough to pull out that it's not a problem. You know, well-rounded corners. Very nice. I guess the Beluga has got a big bulge on the head. So if you see this as an eye, it's got a big bulge right above its head. It's even bigger than this real Belugas are, but I think maybe that's how it got its name. Who knows? We've got a nice flipper tab with a little bit of jimping right there. Just 3 little jimps, if you will. Works very, very well. The light switch method flies out. We've got the flats are stonewashed. And they look really, really nice on that stonewash. You can see the light reflecting off that bevel here. And it's well ground. You can see the grind lines on there. It's very beautiful. It's not always easy to do really nice grind lines. And to show that, you can see on this side that there's one that sort of it just shows up more than the rest. That one grind line right down there. And I don't mind that on a budget knife. On a high-end knife, you know, a knife that cost me a couple $100, I'd want it to be more even like it is on this side here. But hey, it's still very nice. You can see the little bit of line where the detent rides along the face of the knife there. I don't mind that at all. And this spine on the blade here is stonewashed as well. And if you can see it right there. There's a tiny little chamfer on the sides of the spine. I like that. The other jimping is here on the liners on both sides, right here where your thumb goes. So there's a good thumb rest, gives you a nice traction, nice grip there for when you're doing close-up work and you know, tight work. Also, just take a look at how that looks in the hand. The knife just flows right out, and on this side, you can see how it holds in the hand. Very good grip. My hands are large, bordering on extra large. And you can do a pinch grip if you want to grip it that way. Reverse grip, the thumb goes right into this little hollow spot right there. The back of the knuckle, very, very good for reverse grip. If you need to do it that way, get your thumb around if you want to. Very comfortable knife in all kinds of grips. It cuts very well with this full flat grind. 12C27 is a very good Sandvik steel. It hardens up very well. Most knives are hardened around 59 with this 12C27, and it feels like this is that way. I still have the original edge on there, and I've used this for some good hard work. No hot spots in the hand when I did that, you know, cut a bunch of boxes and stuff. No problem at all. You've got some holes milled into the liners to save it some weight, so some nice skeletonizing. And the only other jimping is right here on the liner lock release to make it that much easier to release that liner. And the lockup is perfect. It's exactly what I want a brand new knife to be at lockup. Now that we focus, there you go. You can see that this far edge of the liner meets up with this edge of the blade, the tang. That's perfect for a brand new knife. That gives it a lot of life to wear over, and it gives it complete engagement, so it's a solid lockup. I talked a little bit about the pocket clip. You've got about 1.5 centimeters, about 0.6 of an inch of the knife sticking out of your pocket when your pants go right up to that G10. So that's not too much. And then this nice color here, and there's other colors as well. It's not a big show off on your pocket. You know, it just sits there, and when you're ready to use it, you grab it, and you're good to go. So lockup is solid. No blade placed side to side, up and down, nothing loose at all. Alignment of the blade is perfect right down the middle, just like it should be. The detent is very good. You can even hear it suck that knife in, and holds it in there nicely so it's not going to open accidentally in your pocket, at least not easily at all. And then the nice rounding of the flipper tab makes this not a bad pocket poker at all, because when it's sitting in your pocket, it's just there, not a problem. So let's do the dimensions of this knife. Cutting edge is 7.34 centimeters. That's 2.89 inches. So the end of the G10 to the tip of the blade, 7.84 centimeters, 3.09 inches. I am sorry, you guys who are limited to 3 inches. What can I say? What I can say is, why don't you just sharpen it and sharpen it up this tip, give it a little bit more of a curve coming up, and a little bit more of a belly, I should say, and that'll take off that last tiny bit, and you'll have a knife that even the strictest officer will have to say is a 3-inch knife. So if once you can get it home, it wouldn't take too much to get that done, to modify that, to make it just under 3 inches. There might be some samples that come out just under 3 inches or just at 3 inches as well. Mine might be the biggest one that came off the line that week. I don't know. But that's not terrible, but it isn't the best thing. It'd be nice if it came from the factory just under 3 inches. If you're going to be at this size, you might as well make it, the safe for those guys that live in those jurisdictions. Anyhow, blade thickness, 3.1 millimeters. That's 0.122 inches. The blade depth is 2.45 centimeters. That's 0.963 inches. The thickness of the edge behind the grind is 0.47 millimeters. That's 0.0185 inches. So a nice thin edge behind the grind. I heard somebody recently say that doesn't make a single bit of difference. And I'm sorry, buddy, it makes a huge difference. It would be like choosing to use an axe to cut paper or a knife to cut paper. Sharpen both an axe and this knife to the same angle at the edge, and you tell me which one will go through easier, the axe or the knife. It makes a difference how thick it is behind the grind. It really does. The angle, and this is where almost every company out there, especially on their budget knives, they hand sharpen their knives at the factory, and they're off. They're usually a fair bit off. This one here is 22 degrees on this side and 24.8 degrees on this side, the angle of this grind. It's very hard to sharpen a knife exactly the same by freehand, both edges. It's one of the reasons why I like these, hand sharpening systems, these precision sharpening systems where you clamp it in and you sharpen it. And, you could get closer to a consistent edge using just the simple Lansky system than this is. So is it sharp? Yeah, it's very sharp. Does it cut well? It cuts great. So it's not bad the way they're sharpening it. It's just that I think the modern knife guy wants that edge to be more consistent, wants that 20-degree edge on both sides, or make them both 22, or make them both the same at least. So I think that's what the knife guy wants these days. And, hopefully Bestech will step up and start making a little bit more precision on their final grinds on their blades. Let's talk about the handle now. The handle length, 10.9 centimeters, 4.29 inches. The grip area is 8.9 centimeters, 3.5 inches. The handle thickness, not counting the pocket clip, is 1.44 centimeters. That's 0.565 inches. So just over half an inch thick. And the handle depth, its biggest right back here, 2.67 centimeters, 1.05 inches. The total length of this knife when the blade's open is 18.66 centimeters, 7.35 inches. I wrote ounces on my notes. Oh, isn't that crazy? 7.35 ounces. It weighs 110 grams, 3.9 ounces. So just under 4 ounces. They did a great job with that skeletonizing. Really, really love this knife a lot. I haven't done this on a lot of my videos yet. So the balance point is right there, right where your index finger choil is. So really good balance on this knife. I like that. How much does this knife cost? In most places, it's selling for around $52 US. You can find it at some US stores like Blade HQ. You can find it on Amazon.com. And I've got links to Amazon.com. If you use Amazon, I get a little bit of a credit back. So thank you so much for using my Amazon links. Down below in the description section, I also have an Amazon what's it called? Influencer. My Amazon influencer page where I've got a number of knives and other items that I've looked at that I recommend to people. So if you click on that influencer link way down below in the description, you look down the list right close to the bottom. It would just be a way to help me out. If you're going to buy stuff from that list, it helps me out. If you go to that page first and then buy something totally unrelated, like say saddle headlights for your car, as long as you started with my link, I get a little bit of credit for it. It's a way that you can help this channel if you want to, without it costing you anything extra. So thank you so much to you guys who do that. And while I'm on that note, thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. I was talking about the price. What is the price in Canadian dollars? That is right around $67.88. I've not found a Canadian supplier for the Beluga. Sorry about that, guys. In Germany, Amazon has this for 73 euros, but Messer & Co. has it for 51.9 euros. So, I'd prefer if you use my Amazon link to help me out, but I'm not going to ask you to spend an extra 22 euros just so that it can help me out by, half a euro. So Messer & Co. has this. I'm sure some other vendors have this as well. 51 euros, 52 euros basically. In British pounds, although I couldn't find a British site that has this, 52 US dollars equals right around 39.66 British pounds. The unique features on this knife, let's talk about that. Really nice G10 milling. I haven't seen something quite like this on a budget knife before. It's really nice. I like that lanyard hole especially. And this end here, just really, really cool features. The G10 standoff, just everything put together. Very, very nice. I'll show you the ball bearings. I'll do that right now. I'll show you the inside of this knife right now. Looks cool, doesn't it? And good ball bearings. That lanyard hole that I mentioned. Skeletonizing of the liners. Chamfering of the spine. The great detent that's on here. This forward choil. And it's a totally safe choil. You get your finger in there. It's a good size. Everything's just working together for a very nice knife. Cons on this, well, there's no option for a left-hand pocket clip, and I really wish there was. There should be a left-hand pocket clip on this knife. Most liner locks, us lefties, especially on flippers, we can handle them, to open the knife, no problem with the left hand, and, we can close them, no problem. Give us a left-hand pocket clip as well, please. It would really help us out. Yeah, I know you don't want to make the show side look like it's got extra stuff, but help out the lefties and just give them a pocket clip space so that they can move the pocket clip over. And the only other con is I would want some better consistency with sharpening your knives. You guys make your knives very sharp. I've got about 5, 6 Bestech knives, and I've had in my hands, several more. And you guys, Bestech makes their knives nice and sharp. I just would like the budget knives to be a little more consistent with right around 20 degrees per side sharpening. 20 to 24.8, that's almost 3 degrees difference from one side to the other. That's a fair bit. But great knife. Love this knife. Handles great. It's very light, easy to use. Looks good. It pierces well because of the way this tip is made. Slices great, being a full flat grind. If you're looking for a nice user knife, an EDC to carry around, and nice color options, check out the Bestech Beluga. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And remember, guys, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.